talks about three things to look for. It talks about, what is it, skills, knowledge, and talent. Do you remember that chapter? We can train skills, that's what the Lawson team does. We can maybe teach a little bit of knowledge, but you can't teach somebody experiential knowledge, and you certainly can't teach them talent. And so I'm wondering, do we follow our own manual, our own advice,
No.
when we recruit people for these positions?
No, but let's also look at where we're operating in. And in some countries we have, some of the challenges we have are that those skills just don't exist in the country.
Yeah. And then as soon
Sudan,
as you train it, they are swooped up out of you.
Angola, the moment you've got someone trained, they're gone. Somewhere like South Africa, we completely outsourced this whole thing. So we couldn't pay, we wouldn't be able to afford a warehouse manager because we just can't compete in salaries.
So we hire a mediocre warehouse manager and then rely completely on the
Now wait a
national
minute,
wholesale.
why can't we compete in salaries? Why can't we compete in salaries? It's just the cost of goods sold. And we're designed to subsidize product anyway. Why can't it just be part of the direct subsidy of the product?
This is not something that people care about. When we,
That's
the
been my
program
problem.
people, the program people don't care about it.
And
so
not
it's not
only-
in the budget.
But if
So-
we can show them they're losing $1 million a year of product, then suddenly it makes sense to hire a warehouse manager for $3,000 a month.
But also, Chris, not just our people, but our donors. I have watched over the past 3 years, USAID, Global Fund actually start caring about inventory. But I haven't seen the money get put where the mouth is. Global Fund requires us to have, is now starting to put in their procurement and supply management plans and all their guidance that we have to meet these certain inventory and distribution standards, right? But then they never want to approve the budget for it, and it's the first thing that's
Well, the
cut.
CCM doesn't understand the
Right.
CCM?
the country coordinating mechanism. So you have, that's a
So
good
local
point, which
representation.
is that we have a conflict between what a donor like the Global Fund is saying versus the mechanisms that actually manage the grants.
Right.
So the Global Fund is a nice example where they set a policy and they say this is what you need to achieve, right? But your grant is actually managed through the Ministry of Health in a country. They don't give a damn about your warehouse. They want the money to be able to say, we distributed 20 million nets this year. That's what they care about. Now, I agree with you. The fact is, if you don't get all these things right, you may not have 20 million nets left to distribute.
Right.
But they don't care, because they'll be able to say, we received 20 million nets from the Global Fund.
And the biggest problem we've had is when I proposed it to CR is, start paying for this, is that, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
It's not in the budget.
Yeah, it's just not in the budget. And where do you start? Because you go to the donor and they say, well, you've been achieving all of these results thus far with the budget you have. Why do you now want so much more money to put racks in your warehouse, to move to mobile phone tracking systems, to pay for a good warehouse manager? Are you saying that you haven't?
I get that answer a lot when I talk to program people.
Yeah.
They say, well, but we passed audits before, why should we do anything different?
And that's actually what the donor says to them. That's why they're saying it to us. The donor says, well, why am I paying for your warehouse? Are you telling me you haven't been achieving what you said you've been achieving?
So I think we, to jump into some of the detail, which is we need to give people guidance on some of these, like more guidance, like it's about tolerance. Like some of this is a program scaling up. A platform might jump from 2 million to 8 million in revenue in a year because it suddenly wins a big project. Well, yes, its warehouse has been good enough to just about manage a $2 million revenue.
But then it blows apart.
But then you push it up to 8 million in a year, and it just doesn't have the capacity because the warehouse manager was fine for what he was doing.
I'd like to throw out one anecdote that Jasmine gave me, and I think I've shared it with a couple of you, but about just how complex our warehousing operation is. Zambia gave me the example of the warehouse circumcision program going from 15,000 to 150,000 in the space of 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, more than that even. Yeah,
Okay.
last year we had 10,000. This year it's supposed to be 50,000. Next year it's supposed to be like 150,000. And they just don't even have room. And then it's 150 different items that are required for one foreskin